Hi, it's me, Ingrid INFP, and I have not been having a great week. Um, I'm happy to be back at work, but at the same time, I overworked myself because I was catching up from the stuff that I didn't get to do during my 2 weeks holiday. So I was at the emergencies yesterday working. And I took 7 patients in an afternoon, which is a lot. Um, Usually I get tired after 4 patients in an afternoon. Well, I get tired after 2 or 3, to be honest, but 4 is like good and 5 is extremely good, but 7 is starting to become a lot. And I was also showing a junior doctor how to do things who's new at my workplace. And I made a few mistakes. I managed to rectify them, but I prescribed the wrong antibiotic to one patient. And then I also prescribed the wrong dosage on another patient. And I managed to fix it quite quickly afterwards. But I was also kind of all over the place. I lost my glasses during the afternoon and then I found them again. And I kept like being kind of absent-minded. And one of the other doctors said that, wow, Ingrid, you're a beast. You took 7 patients in the afternoon. And I was like, he's also a junior doctor, so he doesn't know how it can be. So I was like, thanks, but unfortunately, it was too much, and I hadn't slept a lot the night before, and I had also talked to my supervisor in the morning and broke down crying. So obviously at 4:35, when it was time for me to go back home and I had to document on all these 7 people, I kind of started crying again because I figured out the mistakes that I made during the day. And I'm so lucky that like I told the nurse he's a young guy, the nicest ever, and he offered to call the patients and tell them to return their earlier medication and take out another packet. So it all went fine in the end, but I was really tired. I was so tired. On Wednesday, I had only 2 patients in the afternoon, and one of them didn't come. I didn't even have any patients in the morning. I was just doing administrative work. And yet, I still felt like I needed to leave at 4, so I left early. I was lucky enough that my Wednesdays are pretty chill days because I have, well, since I'm learning stuff, my morning, because I'm a student, my mornings are for studying. So technically I don't use it for studying. I use it to do my administrative work, but I can do pretty much whatever I want. I can work from home if I want to. So, but even with that, I was tired. And it's not because my work is a lot, especially a lot of people are now coming back from their summer holidays, and so it brings us much more work. But also because my holidays were not as relaxing as they should have been, because a lot of things have been happening. I've maybe told you guys about my brother who who was studying engineering this past school year, but now he he failed his exams and now he's out of an activity. He doesn't have a school or a work job to go to. So that is worrying my parents extremely much because they are very much into that you should study hard and work hard and that kind of thing. Also, my parents think that he has depression, which they don't know that I have. And that means that I did not feel like telling them because I saw what the reaction they were having to my brother possibly being depressed is, which isn't good. Unfortunately, they're more like, that you have to pull yourself by your bootstraps kind of people. So, like, they don't really understand mental health and mental illness. So seeing that kind of hurt me. Also, I finally figured out why my mother has been so strange these past few months is because my uncle has pancreatic cancer, and my grandfather died when my mom was around 20 of pancreatic cancer after like 3 months. It's the worst cancer you can have. And thing is, so my uncle has a very, like, he got extremely lucky when it comes to his cancer, because most people who have pancreatic cancer only live a maximum of 3 months. So he was able to have a tumor surgically removed. But I did get a little bit mad about my mom not telling me until after the surgery was done. And now, because I could have gone and visited so thank God he didn't die during that time, because he's known, my mom has known since the end of February, beginning of March. And he could have died and my mom wouldn't have told me. And that's the thing, is that we're keeping so many secrets from each other that I can't keep all the secrets. And she didn't want to worry me, but at the same time she was, because I could tell that something was wrong. I do have the intuition. Okay, we intuitive people know things even though we don't understand sometimes. We know that something is up. And so it's made me think, like, does my mom know that something is up with me? Yes, she does, because otherwise she would have told me, but she doesn't know what it is, and I'm not planning on telling her what it is either. Well, I am, but not now, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to present it. But it is eating me up from the inside. And I realized that when I was talking to my supervisor. I came out as gay to my supervisor, and it ends up that her son is gay. I was so worried because she's Polish, and I don't know if she's religious, I have unfortunately met, not to be racist or stereotype, but a lot of people from those countries are not as accepting of LGBTQ people as in Sweden. But she, because I was trying to tell her that I've been able to hide my queerness from my parents for 10 years. I have that capacity of being secretive, that I can hide this for 10 years. So that's why I am a little bit skeptical at the fact that I would be able to tell my parents that I don't feel that I am depressed or that I'm burnt out, because I know of my capacity to hide things. And I know that my parents are also secretive about things. Because my mom was hiding this about her brother, which was affecting her very much. My brother is also very secretive. I don't know what he does. I don't know. I thought that his school was like, he was doing great at school, and then like it ends up that he failed all his classes. My dad is also a very secretive person, because he is very secretive about money, about what he does at his work. I have no idea. I have no idea who his friends are, if he has friends. I don't know. So we are all extremely secretive people, even to each other. So it doesn't really work out very well at times. Also, the fact that my grandfather is losing his memory and being extremely irritating about it, because he starts putting a lot of, like he starts criticizing me for a lot of things. So in general, this was not a very healthy environment. My brother did not want to talk to me because he sees me now as in the same league as my parents, even though I've tried very hard to leave him alone and not be like my parents, and not listen to my parents wanting me to say stuff to him. So I am sad that it's affected my relation with my brother. So strangely enough, my best relation was with my dad, who has been shitty and very neglectful of my emotional needs for my whole existence. So, and I couldn't meet any of my friends because they live in different places. So, my holidays have been difficult. And saying all that to my supervisor, and also the thing about autism, and also the thing about being gay, I realized like this is too much for one brain to handle. And the fact that like therapists don't really know what to do with me because I don't have a clear-cut problem. Well, my problem is that I'm taking up too much brain space towards other people in my life. But it's also too difficult to let go of all of this. I can't let go because I can let go of some things at the time, but it's just too much. And my supervisor also said that she saw that I'd been tired. Because usually I really like being in the coffee room and talking to people in the coffee room, because my coworkers are kind of like my friends. They are the best coworkers ever, and they're very encouraging and understanding and stuff. But there was a point where it was too much. And also that day I'd actually forgotten to take my medication, because for some reason I can't remember to brush my teeth and take my medication on the same morning. It's like, it feels like my brain is like either or for some reason. Even though I try. And so I'd forgotten my medication that day. And I was feeling awful. So I watched the entirety of season 2 of Great Omens that evening, and I went to bed at very late, and then I didn't sleep. So anyway, I realized this is too much for one brain and heart to bear. It's not like I'm going through very traumatic things or anything. I'm actually very stable in terms of my emotions and stuff at the moment. It's just once I said a little bit to my supervisor, then like all the tears started coming. And I realized, like, this is a lot, this is a lot. And my supervisor said, if you feel this tired, maybe you should take some time off work. And obviously I went to work today instead, but she just said, like, take some time off to just be alone and do whatever you want. Yeah, she's I love her. I'm she's doing a better job at being my mom than my actual mom, and that's that hurts. That hurts. But it's not like I live far away from my family. They live in another country, and I can't be there for them. But it's also good for me that I'm away from them. And it's not like I'm going no contact, like, that's the trend at the moment for some reason. But I did go to the library and I got the book The Body Keeps the Score. I'm going to start reading that. Not because I have any actual, traumatic experience, but I think that it might give some psychological insights about, family dynamics, that kind of thing. It's a book about PTSD, basically CPTSD, a lot complex. And it's not what I have, but I think that there might be some nuggets of wisdom in that book. I was also watching Good Omens, which lovely, best series ever. I really, really recommend. So I'm trying to disappear by consuming media, which isn't great, but at the same time I need to take it easy. My coworkers noticed that I wasn't doing good, and I want to be a positive presence, and people see me as a positive presence there. And the junior doctors, they are so sweet. There's this guy who's a junior doctor, the one who called me a beast for going so quickly with the patients. He said that he asked me like how long I'd been doing my residency, and I said it's a year now. And he said, wow, it feels like you've been here forever, like that I've that he said that he'd come to me for questions, that he'd rather come to me for questions than other people, because it seems like I know my shit. That's literally what he said. So it's good to know, and it's good that somebody tells me sometimes I'm doing a good job, because I get confused at times. I've also been thinking a lot about enmeshment with my mother and that kind of thing. I was watching autism videos. I've really been hyper-focused on autism videos, which also kind of fries my brain, but yeah. And I do relate to a lot of them. Women who were late diagnosed with autism, that's where I kind of relate to many of them. And some of them are very rigid and like when they grew up about being the good girl, which was what I was trying to be. And certain of them have been very attached to to a certain person and have a difficulty knowing what their own opinions on things are. And that's where I am, is that I've been very extremely dependent on my mother, especially, and kind of enmeshed with her life. And that's where I take on a lot of other people's problems. And it's not in the way the FE users do it, because I know that FE users, they're known for this, for taking on other people's problems. But I think that INFPs, we can do it too. It's just it's difficult being an NF in an SJ world, you know. So I think that we all have the capacity to be like this. And it weighs on me, on my shoulders, on all of me. It weighs like my head is buzzing with it, and it's difficult for me to concentrate at work or at home when there is so much to think about and ruminate about all the time. And I'm trying to let it go, and I can in moments, but it's always in the back of my mind, and it's hard to let go of that. I'm also having problems with with conflicts, and that's also an INFP problem. We have trouble with conflicts, and it's just frustrating that I take a vacation and I just end up becoming more tired afterwards. I'm with the people that I'm supposed to love the most in my family, but actually I'm less happy after seeing them than before. And the things that I liked about my holidays was mostly the food. Okay, it's the French food. It's landscapes. It's the activities, but it wasn't the relationships part of it. And that's where my supervisor was kind of surprised me, because she seemed like a family-oriented person, you know. She's an ISFJ. But she said, when you're young, there seems to be like, and that and that you're close to your parents, there seems to be like that you think that you need to be with your family during every holiday. But she said that as she grows older, she realizes that she needs to have a holiday that's separate from her family. And that's what I'm going to need. Unfortunately, I might need to see my uncle in the United States because I don't know how long he has to live. So maybe my next holiday days are going to have to be used on that. And obviously my mom will want to come. I won't be left alone. So maybe next time I can have a holiday for my own sake is next year, 2024, unless I take a sick leave. And I don't want to lose money, but that's what I'll have to do. This is a long video, I'm sorry. I was extremely upset yesterday, and I needed to get things out. I'm feeling much better today, but that's only because I slept 10 hours. and because I've not spoken to my family for, a week. But yeah, it's a lot has been weighing on me, and I don't know exactly. I'm pretty alone in all this, and I'm so happy that my supervisor is so kind and so understanding. And I talked a little bit to some other of my colleagues, and I did come out to them too. I'm trying to free myself, free myself from the secrecy that I've bound myself to, and the family that is binding me, and the emotions that are like imprisoning me. And I want to be free. I want to be independent, live my own life, do what I want to do. Not have this weight that I'm carrying all the time. And spread my wings, cast off the weights that are pulling me down and chaining me to the ground. I'm trying. It's very hard, especially when right now I have no therapist to go through this with, because I'm too abnormal for even therapists to deal with. I don't know. I'm too healthy while being at the same time too sick, and too much. I'm just too much, apparently. I'm too much while asking for too little. Isn't that ironic? I could almost, isn't it ironic? It's, I'm thinking of the Alanis Morissette song. It's like rain on your wedding day. It's like, why should I be made to be seen as a terrible person, who is a burden, when actually, like, I'm not a burden to others. They're being a burden on me, and I should be able to do what I want. Okay, I should be able to be myself and not chain myself in this cage that I have created, so that other people will be nice to me, so that other people will accept me, because they accept me the way that I am. If only they could see. So yeah, that's it for today. Have a great day. Bye.